I have some exciting news. Documenting Hope published another case report documenting the full reversal of an autism diagnosis. This time, this is the story of a boy who had an autism diagnosis, was diagnosed at 3. His mother used an intensive nutritional intervention, and he fully reversed his diagnosis. No longer has any of the signs or symptoms of autism and is no longer on a special diet. This is Documenting Hope's second case report documenting full reversal of autism in the peer-reviewed medical literature. This is our first paper, Reversal of Autism Symptoms in Twins, using a personalized environmental modification, lifestyle, diet, total load approach. If we had more funding, we would do this all day long. Because you know what? I've been documenting these stories for almost 20 years. There's so many of them. And what makes me crazy is that this is not part of the standard of care. Using a root cause biomedical approach for treating autism isn't what most people have access to. Yet the science is there. There's so much good science demonstrating that this is possible for our kids. Let me just read you a few other papers that are out there. Autism and Dietary Therapy, Case Report and Review of the Literature, Journal of Child Neurology, 2013. Case Study, Rapid Complete Recovery from an Autism Spectrum Disorder After Treatment of Aspergillus with the Antifungal Drugs Itraconazole and Spironix, Integrative Medicine, 2020. Unexpected Improvement in Core Autism Spectrum Disorder Symptoms After Long-Term Treatment with Probiotics, Open Med Case Reports. That was 2016. Case Study, Deterioration, Autism, and Recovery in 2 Siblings. That's the Journal of American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry, 1995. Case Report, Substantial Improvement of Autism Spectrum Disorder in a Child with Learning Disabilities in Conjunction with Treatment for Polymicrobial Vector-Borne Infections, Frontiers in Psychiatry. What do you notice about all those titles? There's no drug, there's no single treatment or single therapy. There's no one thing that helps these children lose their diagnoses. Autism is a neurodevelopmental condition, and it develops because of a specific set of health and environmental stressors that affected each individual child during that developmental trajectory. So there isn't going to be a one-size-fits-all therapy or strategy or approach, because how your child developed autism is how your child developed autism. And so you need to be a little bit of a health detective and unwind what is going on with your child physiologically, metabolically, and what kinds of developmental needs they have. So why isn't this the standard of care? There's plenty of literature demonstrating that autism is reversible for many children. Yet when you go to your pediatrician or your developmental psychologist or whoever it is that gave you the diagnosis or is helping you manage your child's condition, you're not told about these case reports. You're not told about the biomedical interventions. You're not told about anything really other than maybe ABA, PT, OT, speech. And that's okay, because those things can be helpful, but they're not getting to the root cause. Do you know why you're only having ABA reimbursed, why that's the only treatment and therapy that's really universally covered for most people? It's because in the early 2000s, when Autism Speaks came around, you had millions of dollars raised, and all that money was used to lobby the state legislatures to get ABA covered by Medicaid and private insurance. But what we need today, now that we know so much more about autism, its root causes, and what it takes to help kids get better, we need a similar kind of fundraising initiative to get into the state legislatures to show that biomedical, functional medicine, root cause approaches is a medical necessity for our children. That's why ABA got covered, is because it was demonstrated to be a medical necessity for children. And that is a statute in the Medicaid law. If the treatment is medically necessary, the child must get coverage for it. And that was demonstrated for ABA. But I would argue that functional diagnostics, nutritional interventions, root cause, total load approach is much more medically necessary than ABA. So Documenting Hope is going to keep doing research, putting evidence behind the root cause total load approach so that we can walk into the state legislatures and say, this is medically necessary for our kids, and we need your help. So here's what you can do. Donate to Documenting Hope, help support our research so we can do more papers like this. And We also have an intervention study called the Flight Study, where we're demonstrating a method that hopefully will help these kids get better. You can spread the word that healing is possible. Share this paper, share our other paper. And finally, document your own hope, because your story matters. Your story, your child's healing is evidence, and it's the evidence that we need to completely turn this whole thing around for our kids. I believe in you, and I believe in your kids' capacity to heal.